Hey everybody, we are really excited for today's video. It's the culmination of a year's worth of effort. So I don't want to bury the lead here. We have created what we think is the world's fastest WordPress theme, and I'm excited to show it to you right now. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here. Hopefully this works. But go to emborapets.com in another browser. Look at this. It's beautiful. It's clean, easy to navigate, all of that built in. We've got it on all of our websites. But if you just look right now at those websites, you'll see a tenth of what is actually baked into this theme. So we want to talk about 5 things that this theme is going to do for you that we couldn't find in any WordPress theme out there. Speed, SEO, easy setup, functionality without a zillion plugins, and design.
That's right. So first of all, let's dive into the speed. Speed was really the thing that started us off on the path toward creating Acabado. About a year and a half ago, we put out a YouTube video where we compared several different themes and how they impacted site speed. And our conclusion was it doesn't really matter what theme you use. They're all about the same.
Yeah, we were getting like a score on Page Speed Insights of like 20, 40. So you can go to Google Page Speed Insights and type in your websites, and this is Google's calculation of how fast your theme is.
That's right. They give you a score, 0 to 100. And just all themes weren't doing that well. And we thought, is there something we can do from the theme side of things, right, to speed up your website? So we just really dove into that, and we started looking at all of our sites, looking at the themes, and found some inefficiencies. So we found the best team of WordPress developers we could possibly find, and just worked with them on this challenge of how do we make the world's fastest theme? And we told them, we want this theme to peg 100 on Google's Page Speed Insights score for mobile and desktop. Like, that's the goal. And here's what we're seeing is 95 plus on websites, just across the board for virtually everybody that's beta tested.
It's so fun to do because, like, you check your website, you can check your actual Page Speed Insights score on your website. If you haven't already, you really should. And then you install the theme, and it's just wham! It's like done. And so that's why we called the theme Acabado. I know it's kind of a dumb word, but we both speak Portuguese. We love Brazil.
Yeah.
Anyway, Acabado means finished. And it's just like, we're just like, all right, done. Walk away from Page Speed.
Installed the theme.
It's ready to go. So Google has mentioned several times over the years that the slower half of those websites, it will impact your SEO. And so that's why we just felt like, man, I'm not willing to take that risk because of technology that my site speed is slowing things down, especially because we're often running ads on our website to earn an income. And ads are going to slow your website down more. So if we start with a slow theme, it's just the worst. So you'll see on some of our websites, like Camper Report right now has ads on it, and we're still getting 95 plus on Page Speed Insights. But I will mention that there are some ad networks that you aren't going to be able to do that because the ad network is slowing you down. You still want your theme to be as fast as possible to make up for that, but you should just be aware of that. With some ad networks, it's just going to slow you down.
The cool thing that some people are seeing on these other ad networks is even with Acabado, on those ad networks, the user experience is substantially better. So, like, even if the score isn't a 95, the content is still loading substantially faster than on other WordPress themes. So for the user, the ads might not be loading very fast, and that might be hurting your score, but the content is still loading so much faster than before.
Yeah, you just click. Just go try. Just click between pages, and it's like, bang, bang.
When we installed the theme on our websites, I went home. I was so excited. I told my wife, she is just not into this the way that
it's like, what you doing, Ricky? Click
It's
it.
like, no, check this out. Like, she does get frustrated by ads and pop-ups and slowness and stuff. I'm like, look, click. It's loaded. Click. It's all there. You click on an article and just start scrolling immediately, and all the content's loaded. It's
fun.
I get so happy.
So is it the world's fastest WordPress theme? I have no idea. I haven't tested all thousands of them. But we have tested a lot of WordPress themes, and it is stupid fast. So we're really excited.
You want to show them some of our scores?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do that.
That's a good idea. All right, so let's go. So this is... anyway, you can check on Google Page Speed Insights. Just go search Camper Report Outdoor Troop, Drill Warrior, Embora Pets, Dirt Bike Planet. Those are all our websites, and they are just absolutely screaming. You can see it for yourself.
That's right.
Okay, so that's not all that's in there, though. Speed is one thing that we're really excited about. But there were, like, after we gave that to the developers and we got that back and we had that very excited text back and forth about, like, look at this. Then we're like, these guys are good. Let's see if we can let these developers show off a little bit. And so we started to really think about other problems that we have with our sites. And SEO is one that, like, is how I feel about it. Because there isn't that much that can be done on a WordPress site to, like, give your sites Google SEO juice. But the things that are there that Google has given us that we can take advantage of to really stand out in the search results, theme designers just haven't bothered to give us those tools.
No.
And then a specific example of this is Schema. So Schema is some special code that you put into a page that, like, you've seen when you've checked a product review, that sometimes they'll show, like, the star rating there, or when you've searched a recipe and they'll show a picture of the recipe right in the search results. That's from Schema. That's this rich text, rich content that can show up by inserting this code. Now, the reason a lot of theme designers haven't done it is it's actually a little bit complicated. It's not a matter of just chucking in 2 lines of code. It actually takes a lot of work to implement this well. So video reviews, product reviews, recipes, book reviews, all those, the Schema is built into the theme so you can stand out from the rest in search results.
The cool thing about, like, all of this, the SEO stuff, as well as the other features, the cool thing about implementing it with the theme instead of with the plugin is it makes it so much simpler to implement. Because when you use a plugin that has to be able to work with every theme, then suddenly, like, there's just so much more the plugin has to be coded to do.
And things that they usually just skip because of that.
Exactly. And from an SEO standpoint, again, there's so much that SEO plugins are, so many options, right? So many things that you can do in them that have absolutely no impact on how your site performs. That what we've done is we've just taken all of the important things and just built them into the theme. Your Jim talked about Schema, but your meta description and stuff that you normally need an SEO plugin to be able to change for any post, it's there. You want to no index something, it's no index a page, it's built into the theme. The XML sitemap is generated automatically. There's no SEO plugin required if you're using Acabado.
So that's kind of one of our main tenets or main things that we wanted to accomplish with this. We didn't want a theme where you needed to install the theme and then immediately, just to do the basic functionality of using this site, you need to install 9 WordPress plugins.
That's right.
Like, I want to install my Google Analytics code. Do I really need a new plugin just to do that? Yeah. And so we built that stuff in. You know, your Google Analytics code, your SEO is built in. We have some other neat functionality in there. Okay, we got to wrap this. So Pinterest. So Pinterest is a great way to market your website, especially if you fit in those categories that really work on Pinterest. So in the post editor, right at the bottom, there's a way to add. So Pinterest images are usually, like, tall.
They're tall. And all the Pinterest gurus are saying that every single post needs at least 3 different pins.
Right.
So 3 different images that are all tall and skinny in your post.
Right. So you have this tall image. It's going to look ugly in there. And so we've built a way that you can upload a special pin for that post. So when somebody pins that page, it'll show that nicely designed one. But it doesn't actually display on the page. So it doesn't take up real estate. It doesn't look ugly on your post. Just when somebody pins it, it'll show that one. So it's hidden in there. And it's just one click right at the bottom of a post if you choose to do that.
A lot of people out there, maybe some of you watching are like, yeah, I already do that. But you have to go add in your script. You have to add in code and stuff. The theme can take care of that for you. You don't have to be a coder to hide your Pinterest images. It's awesome.
We did some other things like WordPress comments. I hate comments. Yeah. And so we just created a way that you can just disable comments in one click. Bang, it's just gone. It won't show it. If you want comments, of course, you can do that. But if you just want to get rid of it and not deal with the spam and everything that people are sending to your website, just click nope, and there are no comments. Again, no plugins for this kind of thing. It's built in. It's like the things that we actually need as bloggers, we wanted to have right in the theme.
Yeah, there's one called anti-bounce protection. This is, I think that's a term that we're coining now here, is anti-bounce protection, where it's neat. Pop-ups are a bad experience from a Google standpoint. The Coalition for Better Ads talks about this, like anything that blocks content on your page is a bad user experience, and it can hurt your SEO, and it definitely hurts the experience for the user. So when a user's scrolling up to hit the back button, instead of giving them a big pop-up, we just display something at the top of the page that catches their eye that says, hey, before you leave, you might want to go check out this. And then you can, use whatever text you need and highlight maybe your most popular article, whatever it is that you want to send people to. It's kind of just a neat little feature.
Yeah, it is really cool. Man, we've got a lot of functionality in there. It's fast, but sometimes people do fast-ish by just making it minimal. We wanted a lot of functionality built in. Now, when you get a lot of functionality, it can be frustrating to get a WordPress theme set up correctly. And we really wanted to have the settings for the theme so well organized and clean and well explained that you can really set the theme up in 3 minutes. You upload your theme to your WordPress, and you have a couple basic settings to go through, and you are off to the races. And we've been able to see that. Project 24 members have been using this for, about 6 weeks.
Yeah. We launched it to them with the beta without any instructions.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't made the tutorials yet.
Right.
And they figured it out really easily. And now what we have for you is everything is just laid out in a tutorial. When you sign up, the download page immediately says, now before you leave, here are the 3 things you need to do to get your theme set up.
Yeah, it's like non-obvious setup instructions.
And then we send you to a video that walks you through every other setting. I mean, it just couldn't be easier.
All right, design. I care a lot about the design of a WordPress theme. Now, obviously, it's a lot of just personal preference, what you want a theme to do. But there were certain things that I needed the theme to do to give a great user experience. Fonts was huge for me. So many WordPress themes, I feel like I've got to go chuck in custom CSS to make this thing readable. The fonts are too small and too gray and not enough spacing between the lines and everything. So we really spent a lot of time tweaking those fonts. Or have you had, I know I've had lots of experiences with themes that your H2s or H3s or whatever, just not the right size.
Yeah,
and
they're
so
either huge or small, or you're like, well, for it to look reasonable, I have to only use H3s and 4s because H2 is gigantic.
Which can have an impact on SEO.
It can. So why don't we just make it look good, right out of the box?
Right.
So that's what we did.
So we're excited about that. But there's something else. So when you go to a homepage of a website, when somebody goes to your homepage, they want to investigate you as a brand. They've seen an article and something about that made them want to click to the homepage, right? And so I don't want to just stick them with a boring blog roll of just, here are some random new posts that we've written. It's like, okay, I can't tell you about my brand and direct you to where I want you to go.
Yeah.
I'd like you to go to a really well monetized post. I'd like you to see my product. I want you to see my YouTube channel. And so we created a banner image that you can have, one clear call to action, whatever your best shot is. And then under it, there are these featured tiles. You can have between 2 and 6. However many you need. If you want 2, perfect. If you add 6, it'll just auto resize for you to be the right size there. And you could direct them to wherever you want them to go.
Yeah, it's actually really awesome so the idea here is that we can have a great homepage that sends people where you want them without having to be a good designer. Because a lot of us, when we get started in this, are just not great designers, and we don't know how to make a page look awesome. But if you do want you have a super custom homepage that really does show off your brand, and you're using a page builder to do that, we designed Acabado to be fully integratable with, and it does fully integrate, I've tested this out, with Elementor and with Divi's page builders. Mm-hmm. So if you really like the capabilities you have with those and want to build a really awesome custom homepage or custom sales page, you can still do that with Acabado. I love it.
Yeah, it's really neat. You guys, I'm sure you can tell that we are really excited about this theme. it's not perfect. No WordPress theme is, but we have put a year of our very best efforts into this. And, there were so many opportunities along the way. We were like, yeah, we probably could kind of release this feature set. And we're like, no. We're going until this is the best theme we can possibly make. And, if we're putting it on our sites, we better really love this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're excited for you. It's available right now at incomeschool.com/Acabado. Pricing. So we looked at all the competition. And we like a model where you can buy one license and use it on as many sites as you want. Because we like making lots of sites. I think like a lot of you guys, we kind of proliferate them, right?
Yeah.
And so we wanted to have a license that doesn't get in your way. You can use it on everything you want. And we wanted to have an option where you can get a lifetime license. And so we have a less expensive, very inexpensive year to year if you want a low starting point. But we're like, you know what? Let's just give these guys a heck of a deal. And so we made a lifetime license, a pretty no-brainer price, I think, especially considering that you can use it forever on all the sites you own. That's pretty neat.
And if you're in Project 24 or considering Project 24, Acabado is free for active members of Project 24. The license is just included. So you just go to the downloads page, install the theme, and you have a license. It's awesome. Okay, so
we got to take care of those people. We like them.
One more thing I want to announce, and then this is a YouTube live, so we are going to take some questions here and stuff and talk about the theme. But one more thing I want to announce is that Wednesday morning, we are going to start, at least for us,
bring the 5-hour energy.
Our longest YouTube live stream ever. And our goal on Wednesday is to help as many people as we can. Our target number is 100. Help 100 people get started with their website. So, think between now and then, if you're considering starting a site, whether you have any others or not, any questions you have related to the technology, related to picking your topic, related to anything involved with starting a website.
How do I monetize this idea that I have? Whatever you got.
Bring it to us on Wednesday. We're going to start early in the morning, probably the same time as we started this one today. And we are just going to run until we've helped 100 people.
It's going to be a long day. This is going to be like an 8-hour live stream. So check that out on Wednesday. It's going to be really fun. All right, Freddie's here. You guys, you got to see Freddie. He's here.
He's usually in the background when we're filming a video. So Freddie's intimately involved with this.
Freddie's picked out some of your questions.
Yeah, you actually answered a lot of the questions.
Without even
Gold
knowing.
Star, man.
Yeah, way to go, guys. Matthew asks, have you guys seen any improvements in SEO since using this theme?
We've only had it on a little while. Here's the deal with SEO. I want to be super honest with you. It's not as if your WordPress page speed jumps up and all of a sudden your traffic triples.
It doesn't work that way with any SEO stuff. You make a tweak to your SEO, and it's hard to pinpoint. It's hard to prove that this change, like your traffic doesn't just double or even go up like a 10% jump overnight. Google, everything Google does is delayed. Google's testing. Google sees, this site's faster now. Let's see how that impacts user experience. And here's another thing about SEO and site speed, is a lot of times people will say, well, but Google is, even if they're talking about site speed, it's pretty low on the list, right, of things that matter. And, maybe that's true. But something that's very high on the list of things that matters to Google is user experience. It's that pogo sticking. It's, are they clicking through? It's, how does the user interact with your site? And if you have a site that works better, people interact better.
If it just took 6 seconds to load the page, how likely are you to click the next page?
Right.
Exactly. And so it's that thing that just, it impacts a lot of different things. But, have we seen an impact on SEO? No.
In the short term?
Straightforward,
Not
no.
yet.
But does the user experience impact SEO? Yes. Has Google said that it's one of the factors, just page speed? Yes. And that's why we wanted to focus on it. We feel like it's a big deal. When you hear Google talking about speed up your sites a lot, we care about that.
Deal. We should make one of those websites, one of those clickbait sites that make you click through 20 pages to get to what you want, because ours would actually load. People would actually do the whole thing. It'd be awesome. All right.
So there was also some confusion because earlier on, it's only showing the quarter of the screen.
Okay.
So if you guys could just say real quick what all of your scores are.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I wasn't doing it. So Camper Report is at a 96 on the mobile speed and 100 on desktop.
And I will add, Camper Report is fully ad monetized.
Yeah, it has ads all on it. And that's with AdThrive. We worked with them to get the speeds up. They're lazy loading their ads so they can do it. So if you have an ad network that will work with you to do that, you can get a great speed. Outdoor Troop is 96 mobile, 100 desktop. Drill Warrior is 99 mobile, 100 desktop. And Embora Pets is 98 mobile, 100 desktop.
And Dirt Bike
Planet is 94 mobile and 100 desktop. So the reason you see a slower mobile score is because it's factoring a couple of the things a little bit differently, assuming that the user has a slower internet connection. So it's really hard to score good on your mobile score. And so, okay, and then host. We didn't talk about this.
We didn't.
So we tested on our sites. We have a premium host. And you can see our hosting recommendations at incomeschool.com/hosting. And we're like, okay, we're nailing it, but I don't know how people are going to do on, cheap shared hosting. Bluehost, which is great to get started, but it is, cheaper. So
and everyone says you can't get fast page load speeds on Bluehost.
Bam! You lose maybe 2 points.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
we had several Project 24 members that beta tested this for us that are on Bluehost and other inexpensive hosting, and they're like, how is this even possible? I'm getting a 93 on mobile on inexpensive shared hosting.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. And the other thing I want to mention with speed and stuff is that for mobile scores, the way that most people are trying to speed up their websites is by using AMP. But the problem with AMP is
it's a Google takeover of your site. I don't like it.
And it's awful for ad monetization. It really hurts your ad revenues. We're hitting these scores faster than most any AMP site, and we're doing it without AMP. It's pretty phenomenal.
And still a ton of technology.
Yeah.
I feel like when we're talking about this and we're so excited about it, like I feel like braggy talking about it, but it's not us who made it.
No,
the
it's not.
designers or the developers we used are just kick butt.
Yeah.
And we kept throwing problems at them, and they kept solving them.
Yeah.
We've been working on this. It's been 7 months
of actual development
after just going back and forth and back and forth, and we're like, not ready yet, not yet. We're like, so we're excited about that.
All right, next question.
Okay. Toto asks, does it auto resize images to make the website load fast?
Yeah, so we should talk about that.
Yeah.
So short pixel. So when you get the theme installed, it's going to recommend you use short pixel for image resizing.
The only plugin that you need.
And it's awesome. You should use it even if you don't use Acabado. Short Pixel is a great plugin. But our theme works specifically with Short Pixel so that you can upload whatever the heck size you want image, and it's gonna make it the right size. From Short Pixel is gonna make those nicely compressed, perfectly sized images. And they're going to be the right ones that the theme is using here. And so it's working specifically with Short Pixel to really maximize your speeds.
Yeah.
Short Pixel is a free plugin. You get a bunch of credits per month. For most bloggers, it's going to be enough. You can buy thousands extra for like $10.
Yeah, that's the thing is if you have a site already and you need to do that bulk image compression at first, you're probably going to want to just go buy a bunch of credits. But you can do either a monthly credit option, or they just have a thing where it's like, just give me 1,000 credits. And it's really cheap. It's awesome.
There was one more thing that I want to talk about before the next question.
Yeah.
Ricky and I have been talking about this a lot together. We do consultations with people who purchase a one-on-one consultation with us, or one-on-two, whatever.
Sometimes.
Anyway, I would say 80%, maybe, if I had to throw a number at it, of the consultations, the premium consultations we've done with people over the last several months, like one of the biggest things we saw that they should fix wasn't the niche they had picked or the articles that they were writing, even the search analysis. There was some kind of major technical issue that was holding the site back.
Yeah.
We've seen some crazy ones, but that are so easy to make. Like, if it's your first WordPress website, it's really easy to mess things up. Even with some themes that I would consider to be the very best themes out there.
Ones we've recommended.
Like, really good themes that they've chosen. but they've set them up in a way that can really hurt things. You
And,
know, a menu
yeah.
that orphans pages, an SSL that was broken, and just technical things that we're like, oh man, this is like a 5-minute fix, and that's been holding you back.
And the problem with that is that you make that mistake at the beginning, and you work on this site for 5, 6,
It's
sometimes
heartbreaking.
or even 10 years. And sometimes the problems that you create are problems where it would have been a 5-minute fix to get it right the first time, but now you've propagated that issue across 1,000 pages on your site.
Yes,
And
we just saw that this week.
We just saw that, and you've custom built all these pages, and suddenly it's like you can't fix them without a complete website overhaul.
Right,
It's going
and
to
we
be
were
a huge
telling, like,
project.
You know, if you gave me 3 weeks, I could do it. But, you know, somebody that wasn't super technical, he didn't feel like he could do it. And it's like, it's really hurt his business.
So
Anyway,
he's going to continue doing it the way he was doing it.
Anyway, so I guess we talked about the SEO question. And I guess there are a lot of things that speed can impact SEO. But to me, that's the biggest one is like, there aren't settings in this theme that you can screw up.
Yeah.
Like, it's
you'd have to add custom CSS.
if
to
you
mess it
add,
up.
we want it to be clean and simple, so that just doesn't happen to people. I do not want to see that.
Nope. All right.
Okay, so speaking of SEO, Flannel Guy is asking, for a site that's already well established and has a lot of traffic, do you recommend changing the theme? And if so, will the site take a hit?
Okay, that's a good
It
question.
is a good question.
Generally, no. I mean, I've changed themes. We've changed themes dozens and dozens of times, and it doesn't do anything. But I would say there is a caveat. Like, if you have like a school type website where like people come on and they're going to a specific thing, and it's more of a portal for something, you do have to be really careful with your design.
Yeah, you don't want to change your menu structure dramatically. You don't want to change the homepage layout dramatically. If people come to your website over and over and over again and know where to look for things, changing the theme, you might still want to build a custom homepage using like Elementor or Divi's page builder so that it can, even if it looks like more updated and cooler and nicer than the old one, people still need to be able to find the things that they know where it is.
Right, but if most of your traffic is coming from social and search rather than direct, then just you don't give this a second thought. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, with our sites, you know, we'll change the theme at the drop of a hat, no problem.
Well, and that's the thing is that like every year or two, you're going to want to look at your site design. And if your theme hasn't kept up with sort of modern web design, you can get to a situation where you have a 90s looking site, you know, because 20 years from now, people will say, man, your website looks old school. If your theme hasn't kept up with what web design looks like today.
White background, dude. We're in pink now.
So it's not uncommon to change themes, and it makes no difference from an SEO standpoint.
Just one or two more questions?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Nicholas is asking, does Project 24 explain how to work and install the theme?
Yeah, so we now have full tutorials for Project 24 as well as everybody. If you buy the theme, you're going to have these actually in the theme. I wish my screen share was working that I could show you. But in the theme, there's a tutorials link right in your WordPress sidebar. And it will take you to a video where I'll show you exactly how to get set up, kind of the non-obvious setup real quick, and then tutorials on, you know, how does the schema work and everything right there. We didn't want to be that theme that you buy and it's like, you know, can't figure things out, so you go to their support and it's like this awful PDF with things, and it's like, no, we just make a nice video to show you what you need. But really, I really don't think there's going to be something trip you up. It's a very simple theme to use. The couple things that are non-obvious, we have a video for.
That's right. And it'll be obvious where to find that stuff for Project 24 members and for Acabado users. Once you're signed up, it'll just appear in the site menu as well.
You won't miss it.
Yeah. One more question?
Yeah, last of all, we have some people concerned about all of the proof of how fast this theme is in kind of our demo sites. Where else can they look to see just how fast this theme is?
Good question. I don't have any other demos to point you to right now, but I just trust me on this one. What we have done to get the speed is install the theme, and we have a video that'll show you, like, you get the theme, and then these are the steps you need to get the speed. So this is what's in that video. You install the theme. First, we want you to go through a plugin audit. If you have 27 plugins in your theme, there's a real good chance that some of them are poorly coded and can be the anchor that slows things down. It's like a relay race. Like, you can have 7, world-class people on your team and you're going to go fast. But then if you add Grandpa on a walker, it doesn't matter how many world-class runners you have, right? And so if you have some plugins slowing things down, you need to go through a plugin audit. It's really easy to find out. Just select all plugins and deactivate and test your speed and see if that's something is slowing it down. So you need to go through. We saw somebody even in Project 24 that had, I can't remember how many, 19 plugins.
We had somebody, I was about to say, so for a little bit more kind of social proof, if you're just a little bit reluctant to believe just our websites.
Don't trust us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust us. I don't trust this guy.
There's in our community, like, we put the theme out there as a beta, so several weeks ago, and a bunch of people used it, and they started giving us their feedback, totally unsolicited. Just some of it was like, hey, tell us what was your speed before and after. We wanted to test it. But we just started getting comment after comment after comment. And I took 4 of those comments and asked for permission to use them on our page. So incomeschool.com/Acabado has 4 testimonials at the bottom. I asked 4 people said yes. I could add about 80 more to that. But some of them specifically talk about, like, my site, my speed was this before, my speed was this after. And I think one of them is that comment where a guy said, I had 19 plugins, I have 9 now. I was able to eliminate 10 plugins because of functionality the theme just has built in, and his site speed went through the roof.
Right. And so it's not as if if you have 10 plugins, you can't get a good speed. Just, we need to be careful and go through them.
We actually had some people who were like, I still have 19 plugins. I don't remember the number.
Yeah.
I still have 19 plugins and my site speeds are in the 90s.
Right.
And so it can happen. It's just, you could get one plugin that is the grandpa on a walker who's going to slow everything down.
Or grandma.
Or grandma. Yeah, we're not prejudiced.
Okay, so that's the first thing. Plugin audit. Make sure that nothing's there. The next thing we want you to do is install Short Pixel, like we talked about, and you need to bulk optimize all your images. Like, we used to resize our images in Photoshop and compress them down and stuff. Short Pixel will go to like 25% the size of what you can get, the best you can do out of Photoshop, and it still looks beautiful. So definitely you install Short Pixel. And that's it. There's nothing else we have done to our websites to juice them up, trying to crank every last thing out of it.
Yeah.
It's a plugin audit and installing Short Pixel, and just to make sure your images and your plugins get rid of the grandpas on walker. Make sure there's nothing else hurting it. As long as there's nothing else hurting it, you should jump up.
Yeah, it was really funny. Like, one day while we were working on this stuff, Jim was like, we need to update all of our sites to the new theme now that we have the full version. We installed the beta on 2 of our sites, but it's time to install the theme on all of our sites now that we're past the beta. And he sat here for like a half an hour and did all of our sites.
Yeah, and I was like texting you like 99, 96. Anyway, but and then there's one more thing, ads. So we talked about this briefly.
Yes.
I want to elaborate a little bit so you know exactly what to expect. If you have ads on your website, ads can work. So there are three stages here in a page load. So usually the way ads are going to work is they're going to stick their tracking code very first. They want to find out who this user is so that we can show them a relevant ad. And then the page is going to load all the content, and that's going to happen fast. And then the creative, the actual image that displays of an ad, is lazy loaded. That's last, right? After everything has loaded. That is okay-ish. It's not bad. You're still going to see a first meaningful paint that's pretty fast. That's the first shot of the screen. Yeah. So that score is still going to be fast, but your raw score, the number that PageSpeed Insights gives you, is going to be low because that tracking code is very inefficient. So if you can work with your ad network to lazy load the tracking as well, you're going to see the 95 plus. If your ad network won't do that for you, your raw score could be quite low. You could be 50, 40 with ads, but you'll at least have a fast first meaningful paint, so the user experience will still feel pretty quick. And, if you have slow ads, you really need to make sure your theme is as fast as possible so that we
Absolutely.
aren't compounding the problem.
And what I've noticed when we've looked at that on some sites where the raw score was slow, but that score, that first Contentful Paint score, was very fast, is when you actually click through, the pages look like they're loading fast.
Yeah, it
And
feels
so
snappy.
the user experience side of the equation is still good. It's just the end score that Google gives you is not as good, and can be substantially lower. But the most important numbers are still good. The speed, the user experience, it's all still really good.
Really cool. We are just thrilled and excited to be giving this to you. I feel like Santa Claus giving the present. We're excited to see what you guys can create with it. I know many of you are ready to start your business and make some income for your family. And we're really committed to giving you the very best tools you can possibly have to have your best shot at doing that. So check it out, incomeschool.com/Acabado. And best of luck, everybody, on your project. Oh, this is that awkward part where I'm looking for the stop button. Oh, this is embarrassing.